Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Mr. Deputy Speaker, when the bill was first circulated last week, it made no sense at all, that bill, as when it was circulated. Because there was one principal amendment which we had to bring to that bill. It's only this morning, and I learned from the Honourable Prime Minister, he had to listen to the radio for the ex-chairperson to advise him that we have to amend status, that today we are coming forward with the status, with the status. And I intend to speak a lot about that bill as circulated, but fortunately today we have had the amendment circulated, and so at least the big bill now makes some sense. Now let me refer to the explanatory memorandum. The object of this bill is to amend the Equal Opportunities Act to provide for the prohibition of discrimination in employment on the ground of a person's criminal record, both at recruitment and promotion, etc. And where a person's criminal record is not relevant to the nature of his employment. So what we are doing today, a document which is of paramount importance for that bill on paper to give the result, is that criminal record. The certificate of character. And we don't agree with the Honourable Prime Minister when he comes and says that we have looked into it and we have decided that by amending the Equal Opportunities Amendment Bill, we don't need to amend the Certificate of Character Act. In fact, we believe that we are moving forward the wrong way. La charrie de l'Obebe, we are going backward. We should come forward, amend the Certificate of Character Act. Then the use of that document as amended will give better opportunity for employment. And today we know there has been several questions put in this House since 2014 with regard to the amendment of the Certificate of Character Act. As far back as December 2016, my learned colleague, friend, Honorable Selvo put a question, and this what the then Attorney General had to reply, and I quote, "In line with paragraph 38 of the Government Programme 2015-2019, and with a view to implementing the said paragraph in order to increase the employability of people convicted of minor crimes and misdemeanors, officers of my office, the DPP, and myself has been brainstorming, and have been studying the amendments to be brought to the Certificate of Character Act, and maybe Employment Rights Act and the Equal Opportunities Act." At that time it was clear, and it's still clear today, that if we want to increase the employability of people convicted of minor crimes and misdemeanors, we have to amend the Certificate of Character Act. This is why I say we should, if we want sincerely to increase the employability of those who have been convicted of minor offense, we should amend, as rightly pointed out by the then Attorney General, the Employability Act. Certificate of Character Act. Again, when that question was put, 6 months later, the then Attorney General went even further. He said, apart from the schedules, which will be amended, and I quote, "Now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, examples of other minor offences which are included in the Certificate Act and Certificate of Character, and which we will deal with in the coming amendments." So the intent to delete minor offences like smoking in the public place, throwing cigarette, I'm quoting, still quoting, consuming alcoholic drinks in public place, illegal littering, insult, being found in a place of amusement outside the prohibited hours. He comes and tells us that we are going to amend the Certificate of Character Act, doing away with these minor offences as to ensure that they don't appear on the Certificate of Character. And he intends to review the statute. That's what we are having today. What do we have today? That document which is important for non-discrimination. How do we get it today? Today one has to apply to the police for a certificate of character. And this is somebody who is seeking employment. He's unemployed. He goes to the police, he applied. It takes him more than 3 months to get that certificate of character from the DPP, and sometimes even more. And when he gets that certificate of character, all the minor offenses which he have committed, even when he was a minor, is mentioned in the certificate of character. I have in my hand a certificate of character of one gentleman who was born in 1968. He will be 50 next year. This gentleman has been working in a private sector as an attendant. He also had a certificate of character when he joined that job in 2009. And they have it I don't know which year, but in 2009, he applied for certificate of character. And the Principal State Council, on behalf of the DPP, in and for Mauritius, have the honor to inform whosoever it may concern that the above name has not, in Mauritius, been convicted of any crime or misdemeanor during a period of 10 years immediately preceding the date of application. And with that certificate of character, born in 68, he got a job. He was employed. When we came with the new law, the certificate of character, he had to apply for another one. So last year, he applied for another certificate of character, because the law says every 3 years, you have to renew one, so he applied. The assistant director of the prosecutor, for the same gentleman, I have the document, I have not deleted the name, but I'm not going to produce the document. We don't want somebody's certificate of character to be public. But for the same gentleman, on behalf of the Director of Public Prosecution in and for Mauritius, have the honor to inform whosoever it may concern that the above named person has at le 39/2016 been convicted and sentenced in Mauritius for a crime and or misdemeanors which are as follows. Same person, certificate of character, on le 21/9/1979, he was 11 years old. He was placed on 2 years probation upon conviction for the offense of larceny. And his contract of employment was terminated. He is a father today of 2 children, one doing HSC, one sitting for the essay exam. He's 59 years old, no, 49 years old, sorry, will be 50 next year. This gentleman's employment has terminated. Because we don't have what we have, spent conviction for certain crimes and misdemeanors. With this law, this gentleman can go and say, he has been discriminated. To prove discrimination, he has to show that he has lost his job or promotion and somebody has gained his job and his promotion. And this company has not employed another person to replace him. How can he go for discrimination? With this law helping? And what is worse, He has tried to get another job. He went to see a lawyer to write to the prerogative of mercy. He's still waiting till today. October 2016. More than a year now. He's still waiting for a certificate because the prerogative of mercy, we all know, has only one full-time official. This was stated by the minister when he replied that Attorney General. And it sits where he wants to. And it has a backlog, according to my information, of more than 500 applications now. So this gentleman is not working. He can't get this offense cleared for an offense he committed when he was 11 years old. And today we are coming with a law to say don't discriminate when we are not amending the Certificate of Character Act. This is why I say that we have to amend. We should have come forward with an amendment of the Certificate of Character Act. Give that gentleman that document which would allow him to get a job. Because now, what does the amendment say? The employer, this should not have anything to do, personal criminal code is not relevant to the nature of his employment. He will decide. And it is an objective test. Subjective test, sorry. So with an offense of larceny committed when he was 11 years old, the employer will say, sorry, it's a contract of employment. I need choice. And he has committed larceny when he was 11. Although he has been working for me for the last 15 years without any offense, now I realize that he's somebody of dishonest. And there is not that element of trust between the two of us. Sorry. Why the discrimination? So if we had a proper certificate of character, which for certain offences, or certain offences committed when one was a minor, it's spent after 10 years like in the UK. It's not as it was before. Then probably this law would have helped him. But as the law is now today with that certificate of character, unfortunately, the Equal Opportunity Commission will not have much work. Because we are talking of a contract of employment, the Equal Opportunity Commission will not have much work, and this amendment will not increase the employability of people who have been convicted of minor offense, of minor offense, criminal offense, be it misdemeanor or criminal. So, either we amend the Certificate of Character Act, then we come with amendment, further amendment if need be, to the Equal Opportunity Commission, Equal Opportunities Act. Now, when we look at the amendment itself, in the Equal Opportunity Act, we should remember we are talking, like I said earlier, about discrimination, not employment. Because in that law, we have to show that I have been defavored in favor of another. It's not that I will refuse a job. We have to say that, sorry, I was supposed to get this appointment. I have not got that appointment because of my criminal record. Or I was supposed to be promoted, and I'm not being promoted because of the criminal record. Now, when the Act was passed, and when what reached the Act, it was supposed to bind the state. Application of the Act, Section 3. This Act shall bind the state. But why is it that now, because of the PSC, and like quoted her by the Honorable Leader of Opposition, the main employer, this bill doesn't concern him. So any person who has been convicted, even when he was a minor, will never join the civil service. So the civil service is reserved for certain category of people. If one, when he was a minor, has committed a minor offense, littering, we have the list, smoking in public, throwing cigarette, he will never join the civil service. Because of the ruling of the Attorney General Office in the case of Gunput, that's police officer who was once the bodyguard of the ex-prime minister and who did not get a promotion. And when, not ex-prime minister, the actual mentor minister, he did not get a promotion. He went to challenge because he has been discriminated on political ground. There was a ruling by the state law office, by the Attorney General Office who gave the instruction, no, because of the PSC, the Equal Opportunity Commission cannot entertain any application if it comes from because of the appointment of the PSC. One would have expected the Honorable Prime Minister to come with an amendment. If we have to amend the Constitution, we amend the Constitution. To do away with discrimination, to do away with that discrimination. Because by that time you go to the other court, to the appeal tribunal, but your chance of being promoted is over. So this is the amendment we would have believed the proper amendment to have come. Make sure that the biggest employer here, the state, is accountable. Does not discriminate against others. Now, this amendment also deals only with employment. But what about licenses? What about if one has to apply for a license? For a hawker's license? Let alone a license to run the private jet. Hawker's license. The municipal asks you for a certificate of character. And this is not included in the bill. We are not amending the section which deals with profession, trades, and occupation. Section 15. And you know, if the Equal Opportunity Tribunal, most of the cases before the Equal Opportunity Tribunal concern application of license. Be it for a taxi driver license, be it for a conductor license by the NTA, and even a hawker's license. These people are discriminated today on other grounds, but also on the grounds that they have a previous conviction. And if we want people to be self-employed, because they have a previous conviction, they cannot really trade, a profession, or an occupation. Why don't we amend this as well? Why is Section 15 excluded with that amendment? So it's clear that, like I say, we have put Sarid Jibabef. If we really want to have those who have a previous conviction to make it easy for them to be employed or to practice a trade or profession, we should have amended the Certificate of Character Act. This simple amendment as it is will not help those people, and we should go further and amend Section 15 of the Equal Opportunity Act so that those who are convicted can find it easy to be employed or to carry on the trade or profession of their choice. I've done, Madam Deputy.
Honorable Culture.